pursuing. Our guest will be joining us in a minute or two. So in the chat, I see most of the students are from Chandigarh University, first year, most of them from first year, CSC, AI, ML, and from second year as well. Mokul is from Chandigarh University, Big Data branch. Cool. Sarthak, please keep a check whenever our guests join us.
Surely.
Hi, Kamal.
Finally, we have a guest with us today.
Perfect. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I wasn't paying attention to my reminder. I was sitting right here slacking with you, and I realized, like, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to be on.
That's all right. That surely happens. So with that, we are good to start with the event. Let me first quickly introduce myself. I am Komal, a final year computer science engineering student at Chandigarh University. I am the founder and the president of the zStudents-CU community. At zStudents-CU, we empower students like you and me to learn both technical skills and soft skills. And today we are here with our very first event to introduce you to the powerful world of enterprise computing and the amazing opportunities provided by IBM Z. So with that, I would love to introduce you to my co-host, Sarthak. Would you please give your introduction?
Hello everyone, I am Satish Sharma, a first year student pursuing CSE from Chandigarh University itself. And I'm glad to host this meeting along with Komal D as a part of zStudent-CU.
Sarthak, you are on mute.
D, I just spoke right now, I guess. Was I
Okay.
not audible?
So you were audible, in between you got muted. All right, then with that, let's have a special guest for today, Dr. Melissa Sassy, introduce herself.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Kamal. So my name is Melissa Sassy, and I am IBM Z's Chief Penguin, and I head up student and entrepreneur experience globally within the IBM Z division of IBM. I have the wonderful opportunity of being able to work with students all over the world to enable them with technical skills such as those that are required in enterprise computing, as well as skills that are necessary to prepare for the future of work, like problem solving, computational thinking, critical thinking, design thinking, emotional intelligence, as well as entrepreneurial thinking. I have a whole talk track that I've created. I read a lot, and I have realized that a lot of the skills that I have in my everyday are things that I can package up and share with others. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of my thoughts today on enterprise computing, as well as in future, activities or future events, sharing more stuff as hopefully Kamal will have me back again.
Definitely. We always love to have you as a guest speaker and present at such topics. Um, with that, we would love to get started with the topic and know more about enterprise computing.
All right, super. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just share my screen, and let me just pull up my presentation real quick. Hold on one second. I just have to grab it. And by the way, it's still early in the morning for me, in case you can hear that my voice is a little scratchy. It is 6:41 in the morning for me. What time is it there for you, Kamal?
It's
5
around
p.m.
5:15.
Ah, okay. All right.
Still better. Sorry for waking you up on a Thursday so early.
Oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry. I wake up early anyway. Okay, perfect. So I have my presentation. Let me just share my screen. And I will put it in presentation mode. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. So welcome. Yes, you are in the right place. And it looks like we've got about 100 of us together today. So to all, I guess, 92 of us, thank you for spending your evening, learning about enterprise computing. When Kamal made the decision to start up a Z Students Club, I will tell you, I was really, really excited. I'm going to take off annotation. So let me take off annotation. Hold on one second so I can figure out how to do that so that people are not able to annotate. Give me 1 second, because I'm going to stop sharing my screen, then I'm going to stop annotation, which I think I can do. Hold on 1 second. Oh, maybe I have to share my screen. Hold on 1 second. I just want to take off so people can't draw on the screen. And I forgot how to be able to do it. Oh, wait, let's see more. Disable annotation. There we go. All right, no drawing on the screen, you guys. All right, perfect. So yes, you are in the right place. What we're going to talk about today is kickstarting your career in enterprise computing. For me, I think it's really where it's at. I have the wonderful opportunity of not only working with students from around the world to enable them with skills to prepare for the future of work, but I also have the wonderful opportunity to work with 100 startups. I'm the founder and global head of the IBM Hyperprotect Accelerator. And I get to work with early stage founders from all over the world to help them build and scale their businesses. I had an opportunity to create my own job title. I created my own job. And it's something that I think enterprise computing has made possible for me, and I'm doing the job that I've always wanted to do. So I encourage all of you to think about, what is that job that you've always wanted to have? What is that boss that you've always wanted to have? What is the what are the traits? Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, what are those things that inspire you about being an entrepreneur, either now or one day. So I'm going to skip over joining the Student Hub because Kamal is going to handle that for us. So as you know, I'm Dr. Melissa Sassy, and I put my Twitter handle in the chat window. So for those of you who are on Twitter, you can find me at Mentor Africa with a K, and you can see that right down here. So if you are on Twitter, feel free to give me a follow. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have this phrase that I use quite often, and it's being an and not an or. And what I mean by that is not allowing anyone to put you into a box, if you will, and to define who you are and what's possible for you, but being all of the many things that make you different. So for me, I'm an entrepreneur, and what that means is I'm innovating inside of someone else's company. So I'm a creator, I'm a maker, I'm kind of like a mini CEO inside of IBM. Now, IBM's not my company, but I'm kind of a CEO of my own business within IBM. I also am an entrepreneur. I have my own youth-led nonprofit in Tunis, Tunisia. So for those of you who may or may not be familiar with Tunisia, it's sandwiched in between Algeria and Libya in North Africa. We have a co-working space, a robotics lab, and an IoT lab, and we taught tens of thousands of young people to code in 12 countries. Obviously, by working in tech and being passionate about enterprise computing specifically, I'm also a digital skills advocate. I am the chair of the IEEE Digital Skills and Readiness Working Group. And in that capacity, I was part of creating the first world standard for what it means to be digitally literate. For those of you who are not familiar with IEEE is the largest engineering organization on the planet with 400,000 members worldwide. A big portion of their membership consists of students like you all over the world. As you heard, I run a startup accelerator at IBM, so I consider myself a little bit of a startup boss. I'm also very passionate about enabling youth. And, as I mentioned, that's all about what role can I play to empower youth to become entrepreneurs, to become, computer scientists, and really be prepared for, what's coming next, and really recognize the potential that all of you have by just, making a decision that you're going to go and learn something new or explore something new. I'm a creator, I'm a maker, I'm a doer, so I like to get things done. I don't believe in hierarchies, meaning if I want to go and talk to my big boss, who's 3, 4, 5 layers above me, I'm not afraid to do that. And I don't believe that I should be handcuffed by a hierarchy that says, these are the people I should be talking to. In that sense, I believe in making the impossible possible. And I'm always looking for people to join what I call my Thrive Hive, which is a group of people who I consider to be my sponsors, my mentors, in some cases, my mentees, and those who are, reminding me of the great things that I'm accomplishing, especially when I may feel like I'm an imposter or feel like I don't deserve a seat at the table, or I might be having a bad day. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a place for constructive criticism and for people to give you feedback, but sometimes you need a bunch of cheerleaders around you. So question 1, and I'd like you to use the chat window, and I'm going to just open up the chat window so I can see. Have you ever heard of IBM Z? So I'd like, okay, cool. So I've got one person. Some people are saying yes. Some people are saying, first time. So a whole lot of different answers. Some people have heard of IBM, but not IBM Z. Awesome. And one more question. Do you think that you've ever used IBM Z in your life? Okay, so we've got some people saying no, some people saying maybe, some people saying I don't know. Awesome, they're all right answers. Everybody's right. So have you or your parents ever used an ATM card or a credit card? And I have to imagine this is a yes for most of us, and many of us use it every single day. So I'm just seeing all of the yeses in the chat window. Okay, yeah, that one's an easy one. I have another question for you. Have you ever been to a retail store? Okay, that's another easy one. We've all been to a store. Yes, we have. Okay, cool. Next one. How many of you have stayed in a hotel? And I know these are easy questions, but you'll see where this is going to go in a second. Most of us probably have. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. What about flown in an airplane? And again, I know these are easy questions, but I promise we're getting somewhere. A lot of you have, some of you have not. Some of you said, okay, I've flown in Air India. Okay, all right. So let's get on to the next one. What I'm here to tell you is that IBM Z powers the world's leading businesses. So let's look at these stats. 23 of the top 25 US retailers are running on IBM Z. 92 of the top 100 worldwide banks are running on IBM Z. 23 out of 25 of the world's largest airlines also running on IBM Z. And 10 out of 10 of the world's largest insurers are running on IBM Z. So what that means is their back-end infrastructure is running on IBM Z. So IBM Z is essentially a mainframe. So it's a server, and we're going to learn more about what that means. So essentially, by coming here today, you are part of a club that has a mission of learning more about the technology that is powering the world's leading businesses. Okay. All right, cool. So let's jump in more. So now we're going to say, now, have you ever used an IBM Z machine or our platform? Yes, you have. You may not have done it directly, but if you've ever held an ATM card in your hand or a credit card, or if you've ever made an airline reservation, a hotel reservation, you've done retail shopping, and so much more. And I want to tell you that it's also friendly for startups. We have a solution that is called IBM Cloud HyperProtect Services, which is essentially Z in the cloud, okay? So there is a cloud solution as well. So it's not just for big businesses, it's also for startups. So you may not have ever touched one directly because they are quite expensive for a company to buy and have on premise. And it depends upon what kind of scale you need, what kind of business you're running, how much power you need, because there are a lot of different models, but it's not something that you're ever going to, let's say you as a student go out and buy an IBM Z machine. It's going to be way too powerful and is not going to be something that would fit your needs. It would be something for, and we'll talk about the power of it in just a second. So speaking of the power of it, let's talk about what happens in an internet second. 6,000 tweets, 18,000 Tinder swipes, 20,000 Snapchat or snaps, 63,000 Google searches. Now check out how many transactions Z is processing in a second. 1.2 million. That's a whole lot of transactions, right? And if you think about it, all of those airline tickets that are processing all at the same time all over the world, or when you or your parents or your friends go to use your credit card or your ATM card, and as long as you have money in the account and there's no fraud issue, and your card is valid, it always works, right? Assuming the electricity is working and the internet is working, it's always working. And it's working because it's powered by Z. Now, why is that the case? I'd like you to remember 3 things from today's talk. 3 words, and that's open, on, and secure. If anyone ever asks you, what is enterprise computing? You would say something like this. You would say, enterprise computing is the back-end IT system that powers the world's businesses. And what makes it special? It's open, meaning there's a long history of open source. It's always on. So if you think about the SLAs or the uptime of certain, cloud providers or, websites, how many times do you hear about a website being down for, this or that, or maintenance or what have you? IBM Z has the highest uptime of any server on the planet. It's also the most secure server in the world. Now, I see someone saying last time WhatsApp was down. They're not running off of an IBM Z machine, okay? Facebook does not run off of IBM Z, okay? Maybe they should. All right, cool. So what kind of cool stuff can you work on if you're working in the world of enterprise computing or working in our world, IBM Z? Lots of opportunities. That's hybrid cloud, that's data and analytics, confidential computing, or data protection, privacy and security, AI or machine learning, IoT, blockchain, all kinds of stuff. All right. So I see there's some questions. Oh yeah, of course, if there's a defect in the ATM machine, then of course things are not going to work right. But that's not a IBM Z issue. That's something likely with the ATM machine itself. So a lot of people ask me, what makes our jobs cool? What makes our jobs better, than other tech jobs? Well, it's really 5 different things. One, and this is not the most important thing, but you do actually make more money in enterprise computing or IBM Z compared to traditional IT roles. And by the way, this study where this came from, it came from Forrester. I keep meaning to put a footnote on here, but I keep forgetting. We have a better work-life balance. My boss actively gives me empowers me, enables me to take the time that I need for my passion projects and for much, much more, including making the world a better place. So I have the ability to make a social impact, or to make social impact and change the world. I also am able to work on cutting edge technology, the most innovative solutions out there. And we talked about some of the cool things that you're able to work on already. Job security, your skills are in demand. A lot of the skills that you learn in enterprise computing are not taught in school. So we have a student contest that's going on right now called Z Explore, and we'll share some detail on how you can be part of that. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about this, also having an opportunity to win prize money, we have a student contest that's live right now, and Kamal and team will give you some more detail about that. But yeah, I think I'm seeing a question here. Let me just, let's see, service or product. So I think that there's someone who says these services are provided by everyone nowadays, like Google, AWS, Azure, and IBM Z. There's lots of competition out there, but don't confuse a mainframe with the cloud and some of the servers that are powering the cloud. They are very different when it comes to security, scalability, and uptime. Okay. And then I see another question that says, hold on. Another question, is IBM Z just related to money transactions or something more? A lot more. A lot of people typically use it when you're either collecting, transmitting, or storing personally identifiable information like medical records or healthcare records from your doctor, for example, or a big hospital. It's very common if you're collecting information that you would find in your banking transactions, but it's also becoming more commonplace for people to see how many breaches are happening every single day, and are thinking about implementing more secure solutions to running their data and having their workloads running every day. So for example, previously IBM Z was not heard of in the startup community. The program that I created essentially showcases why it's just as important to protect your intellectual property and other information that you have access to, because I think you've heard this statement before that data is the new gold, or data is now considered gold. And if data is so valuable, why shouldn't we be protecting it to the furthest extent possible? All right. So are there merchants like MasterCard and Visa? So where do IBM Z come into the picture? Yeah, exactly. So think about it as your credit card processing companies or technology companies like Visa and MasterCard. Think about it as airlines and the booking systems. Think about it as hotels and their booking systems, because think about the dynamic nature of all the data and think about all the sensitive data that's being collected. That's why they're investing in IBM Z. Kamal, if you could do me a favor and please, there is an individual that you're going to want to take out of the Zoom, and I'm going to just stop sharing my screen, and I will tell you who this individual is. Okay.
All right. I'll do that.
And I'm very sorry. Hold on. I don't want to show you what he's writing, but give me 1 second. And let you know. Oh, hold on. I keep accidentally, there we go. All right. I'm not going to tell you what he wrote, but let me send that to you right now. Okay. So if you could take that individual out of the meeting, that would be great. Okay, perfect. Let me go back to sharing my screen. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. So don't just take it from me. You'll hear it from Kamal, but also take it from Lala. Lala says, want to kickstart your career in tech? Have you ever thought about enterprise computing? Join students like me to explore how you can learn, network, and showcase your skills. Let's hear from Mika. Learning from others around the world has been extremely beneficial to me and my journey into enterprise computing. Join us. The IBM Z Student Hub is filled with passionate students like you. You're going to get a QR code for joining the Student Hub, so don't worry about going to the website just yet. Kamal's going to walk you through that today. Let's also hear from Hartanto. I continue to sharpen my skills as I prepare for my career in enterprise computing through IBM Z's Student Hub. Join us on your learning journey and land your first job in tech. Kamal's going to talk about this a bit more, but within our Student Hub, you have an opportunity to build your skills and learn, network with peers, experts, and IBMers all over the world. You also have an opportunity to get showcased, take part in student contests, become an IBM Z ambassador, which means you can score swag. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now, and I'm gonna see if there are any questions. All right, so Facebook had data breaches. So what about IBM Z security? It is the most secure server on the planet. So looking at other servers that one could purchase, it's the most secure server on the planet. So, you know, I never want to say that anything is unbreakable, but it is the most secure server on the planet. And yeah, that's right. Data is the new oil. Data is the new gold. And I would say, again, it's like a server, it's a server. So there are many different, you know, bits and pieces that enable, you know, enterprise computing to work, if you will. And, you know, if you think about what are you going to learn by being part of the Student Hub, you're going to learn, I would say we've got a couple of different job journeys and learning journeys, if you will. There's one for a Z systems admin. There's another one for a Z application developer. So you've got all of the content and curriculum that you need that are not being taught in school to help you get a job. So if this kind of stuff sounds interesting to you, it's a great place to go. And that's probably a good place for me to say, hey, Kamal, do you want to show us, you know, more about the IBM Z Global Student Hub and, you know, why all 102 of us should be on there?
Definitely. The global community by IBM Z for students has helped, you know, me to explore new technologies and learn a lot of more other things which I wouldn't have otherwise in the past 1 year. And how you can access that platform, the other opportunities that platform provides, I'm going to share that. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, we can see it. Sorry, I
All
meant to
right.
say something, but I didn't. So yes, we can see it.
Okay. So today you learned about enterprise computing, but there's a lot more to learn. Let me turn off the annotations. From where exactly do we turn off that? Melissa, can you help me? Okay.
Yeah, if you go up to the top where you can
Disable
see that little,
participants annotation. Yep.
did you
Done.
find it? Yeah,
Yes.
if there's like some dots at the end. If you click on the dots, it'll say disable annotations.
Yep. It's pretty silly that you have the platform to learn about such powerful technologies, but all you care about is annotating on the shared screen. That's your loss, not the students who are attending it, and not ours exactly. So, continuing to what I was saying, there's much more to learn. There are tons of opportunities provided by IBM Z for students to upskill themselves and learn more. So the all-in-one place to do that is IBM Z Global Student Hub, where you can actually be a part of student community, where you can find students based globally and network not only just with students but industry professionals from IBM and from other companies as well. So it is the platform where you'll be the first one to be notified about the student opportunities powered by IBM. For example, the Z Ambassador program that I was a part of, the Z Explore system. Not only can you register on IBM Z and showcase your skills, win exciting prizes, participate in events and competitions, but there is a learning platform powered by IBM Z which enables you to learn more about enterprise computing by solving actual challenges. Today's event was an introduction, but to learn more and get your hands actually dirty on the IBM Z skills and enterprise computing, you can head over to the IBM Z Explore learning platform, and you'll find the link to all of this on the global community. To register for the global community, you can scan this QR code available here on the screen, and you will be directed to the IBM Z Global Student Hub registration page, wherein you can fill in your basic information, and all you'll need is your email ID to register. I'll also share one link in the chat using which you can sign up.
What we might want to do is Kamal, get a volunteer and have someone share their screen to walk them through the steps. And it's free to join. So for those of you who are following along, you don't need to pay anything to be part of this. We have events, we have contests. There are many different opportunities. If you're having trouble with, let us know if you're having trouble with the link. I see one person's having trouble with the link, but it looks like it should be working for most of us. So try it
Let me check
again if it's not
again
working.
for the
Yeah.
link, and raise your hand if you want to participate in this activity that we are doing right now. So the first one who has raised his hand is Ansh. What's 21 BCS 5903? All right, I'm making you the co-host so you can share your screen and go ahead with this activity. Ansh, are you able to unmute yourself?
Is everyone on? Is everyone muted?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Ansh can't unmute himself.
Yeah. We can go ahead with Dia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, can you share your screen and click on the link that is in the chat for the IBM Z Global Student Community?
Okay, ma'am.
Or if it's not working, I can share my screen, but I won't be able to set up a new email. I'm already registered with all of my email addresses. Do you want me to just share my screen, Kamal, and walk everyone through it?
Should I do that, B?
Sarthak, I believe as you're part of zStudents-CU, you have already registered on the platform, but if you have a fresh email ID, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just share screen just a second.
Okay. Meanwhile, for other students to follow along what Sarthak will be doing and how he will be going forward with the registration process, you
And
can
by the
register.
way, as you're thinking about this, to get your certificate today, you have to register for the Student Hub. So for anyone, and you can use your university email, or you can use your personal email. You can use any email you want, but make sure you follow along with this if you want a certificate. So I've seen a lot of people ask if you're getting a certificate, make sure you do this because we will be checking to make sure that you've registered for the hub. And we've also taken note of how many members are in the Student Hub before this event, and we'll be checking it after the event too. So do you want me to just share my screen, or is someone else gonna do it?
Sarthak is going to present, but before
Okay,
that, let me
perfect.
just, I was going to say something that not only will you get other benefits that I mentioned by being a part of IBM Z Global Student Hub, that you can learn about tons of other things apart from enterprise computing and other things as well, and also network with students and both professionals. You can also learn more about the IBM Z Explore learning platform, which consists of challenges. And while you complete a certain level, you will be able to claim digital badges that you can have showcased on your resume or on your LinkedIn profile. And there's even more to that. You can also leverage those skills that you learn on the learning platform to to participate in the Z student contest and maybe win good cash prizes. If you become a global winner, you stand a good chance to win US $1,500, and if you become a regional winner, you will have the chance to win US $1,000. So yep, lots of opportunities to win and upskill yourself. Also, like Melissa mentioned, for the ones who want to have certificates for attending this event, make sure you register on the IBM Z Global Student Hub using this QR code. And once you do so, there in the discussions tab, after this event, you'll see a post discussion board to which if you reply, you will be getting your certificate for participation. And now, Sarthak, are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, the just a second.
All right. Please go ahead and share your screen.
Is it visible?
Yes. So when you scan that QR code, you'll have this page pop up, and here the option you'll see is login or register. So I have to click on that option. So this is the main interface, but to access all of the blogs, all of the other skills here, all of the other blogs and videos posted here, to access them properly, you will have to register and be a member of this community. All you will need is an email ID. Sarthak, add your email ID here in place of email, your first name, your last name, and just set up a password for your account.
These, should I just stop
You
sharing my
will
screen for a
have,
second?
yes,
Yeah,
you
I'll be
can do that
verifying.
shortly. So Melissa mentioned in chat that we will also look for volunteer speakers and guest bloggers to help you demonstrate your skills and build your CV further. That's amazing because not only can you become a member of the community, of the global community, but you'll have the chance to build your personal brand by showcasing your skills and interacting with professionals and students as well. I have been a part of the platform since last year, and let me tell you, not only I have gained good technical skills, but I was able to upskill myself both in soft skills area and gain much more confidence to be able to speak with anybody and everybody.
Yep. So hit this. So here you will find
Scroll
various.
scroll down a little bit. Okay, you need to read all of this and then press on I agree. And this is the main platform for IBM Z Global Student Hub, the main page where you can access blogs, be a part of discussions, have know about the upcoming events that IBM Z is organizing for students, and check out recordings from our previous events. And also, you can interact with other students and professionals. You can see here IBM Z Explore student contest. You can find more information about the learning platform and the contest here on this global community. It's an all-in-one place to know more and upskill yourself. Sarthak, you can stop sharing your screen now. Thanks for
Just.
demonstrating the registration process. I can see in the chat some students want to have access to the recording. Yes, we are recording the event and will send out the recording on either on an email or through the WhatsApp groups that we created for this event.
Where's the option to stop sharing? I'm unable to find.
At the top, you will be able to see that option, or you can,
Got
yes. All right. So most of the questions were answered by our guest, Dr. Melissa. Thank you, Melissa, for delivering not only a great presentation, but also answering the questions that we had in the chat. It was really great having you us with today. And for
Thank
more
you for being
questions,
with us. Thank you
yes.
for being with us, Marisa ma'am. And thank you for everyone who participated in this event and made it.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna grab a link to the learning journeys. It looks like, and it's free, by the way. So everything that we're gonna share with you is free. You don't need to pay anything. So let me just log in, and I just need to get the link. So give me 1 second. Oh, you know what? I think I have it somewhere. Hold on 1 second. I just gotta find my link. I'm just looking for it now. So 1 second. I have to launch my, let's see, journey. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to get into the hub and then I'm going to search for it. It'll just take me a second. Okay, perfect. Thank you for your patience while I grab that learning journey. I have quite a few different blogs that I've shared over time, so I'm looking for it now. Let's see, hold on. Oh, there we go, I found it. Okay, perfect. All right, let me go back to the chat window, and there we go. So if you've enjoyed this, if you want to learn more, you can take this. Oops, I put it to the wrong person. Hold on, everyone in the meeting. There we go. I just shared in the chat window a blog that includes 2 learning journeys. And that when I say learning journey, what I mean by that is 2 courses, both of them free, that allow you to check out 2 jobs. One is a Z application developer, and one is a Z systems admin. So when you go to that blog, it'll show you those 2 learning journeys. Okay, and I would say that you can also kind of check out jobs that are available where you live. In terms of registering for the contest, let me give you the link for the contest. I just want to make sure I got the right one. Okay, yes, I do. Okay, so all right, I'm adding that in the chat window. So this is where you can take part in our student learning journey in our contest. So I've given you learning journeys for a couple jobs, and I've also given you our student contest, which is kind of like a, I don't know, obstacle course of coding, if you will. And it gives you access to learn about some of the coding languages. And by the way, the duration of the classes that we do, they are, all like things where you learn on your own. So it's up to you to decide how much time you want to take. The contest is all about learning IBM Z skills and enabling you to get connected to employers. I will tell you that in India specifically, our local office looks at the students who complete our contest and look to meet them and discuss career opportunities with them. So if you want to have an opportunity to be on their map and have them interested in your CV, this is exactly what you should be taking part in. I apologize, but I do have to run to another session. So I would encourage all of you to join the Student Hub. If you have any questions, you can take that to the Student Hub, to the discussion tab, and feel free to take any of your questions there. Again, you have to be a member to be able to ask the questions. Kamal, any last questions before I say goodbye and thank you?
Well, thanks to you, for your time and being here and presenting about enterprise computing and sharing the knowledge with our students, because I realized that most of us haven't been introduced to the topic. So it was great exploring that space. Thanks for being here. And
Super.
any questions for these students, feel free to register on the IBM Z Global Student Hub and add your questions there. You can ask your questions to Melissa ma'am and other professionals as well. Thank you. Thanks all for being here.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving your precious time to us, ma'am. Thanks to all of our teammates, Makul, Munya, and Pallavi for working on this event with us. And thank you for the faculty advisors that made this event possible. A great thank you to CU and IBM Z for the support. And at last to you guys for attending this event.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for making this event possible. You will be easily able to register on the Student Hub and the other opportunities that Melissa ma'am shared. If you face any errors while registering or any assistance you need, feel free to reach out to me for all of those things. If you want to know more or if you are having some issues registering, you can contact me on my social channels. The links are in the chat.
The record
And
link of the recording will be shared in this WhatsApp group too.
yes, we'll share the link to the recording in a follow-up email or either on the WhatsApp group if you are part of that group. You'll have access to the recording. And don't forget to reply on the post discussion board that will create on the IBM Z Global Student Hub. In the discussion tab, you will be able to see a post discussion board, and the ones who reply to the discussion board will be eligible for the certificates signed by IBM Z. And with that, we are finally able to close our meeting and end the first event of zStudents-CU. Thank you everyone for attending, and we'll be coming up with more such interesting events on IBM Z student opportunities, the IBM Z Explore platform that we talked about. We will have actual hands-on coding workshops on that platform. To stay tuned for that, make sure you're connected on our social channels. The link to connect and stay tuned with us for more are in the chats. So apparently lots of information, lots of platforms to access today. Don't be overwhelmed. It might be a lot of things to access, but all of it is worth it, and you'll be able to find a lot of information, a lot of knowledge to gain. There's definitely a lot of knowledge to gain. And Rajkumar, your question is that is it free or paid? All of the platforms that we shared today, the global community that I shared, it's free. It's absolutely free for you to explore.
The timing of the class